So when we're talking about the I guess in a sense leadership development, quote unquote, it really is, well, how is the reproduction of leaders happening in your place? Because really that's what it is. It's one of the main things, I would say the spark, and it came from a one of my teachers, my Sunday school teachers, and he was always like, hey, you got to teach to teach. Whatever you learn is teach to teach. It shouldn't be the a one department or a one person that comes in and all this stuff, but it's really creating that culture of teaching to teach, a culture that if we value leadership, that means that we are creating leaders, not one department, not one person. Is leaders are creating leaders, and that's what the really true metric is. I would say the same
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And what does that look like for you? A leader doesn't is not scared of conflict. As a matter of fact, if you don't have conflict, then do you even really are doing something? I mean, the reason why we need leaders is because there is conflict, there are challenges, there is adversity, and that's why we raise our hands, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, hey, put me in, coach, in a sense. Like, I want to be able to do this. So the other part, leaders, well, they make a way. So it's not about one more thing and putting all these things that I have to get, through. But a leader makes a way, like a mentor, they make a way, they open doors. So if I see that you're lacking or fighting with something, because of resources here internally or resources outside, I'm a connector. So leaders is looking as how can I connect you with internal resources, with external resources, and that really is where the leaders need to be equipped. So not necessarily development, but we definitely do need equipped leaders that can provide the service and serve their people
True,
with that. So
true.
that's my take.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're right. You're absolutely correct. Because I remember now you're bringing all these memories back. I remember working for a manager one time. He told me, he said, you know what my dream is? I said, what? He said, I want to work for you. I said, you want to work for me? For me? He said yes. And then he gives me a whole bunch of reasons why. But anyway, so the point is, you're right. You know, our job as leaders is to work our way out of our leadership position and get another
Yeah,
leader to take that leadership position.
always.
And it's like the old age that says, those who hang on to something, they lose it, and those who, they open the door and let somebody in, they hang on to their jobs, and they hang on to their leadership position, they grow even faster. So
Yeah.
you're absolutely correct for that one.
And that's why delegation is an empowerment tool. Delegation done right, not task assignment. We're talking about rightfully
Well,
done.
there's a fine line I see sometimes with leaders between delegation and being lazy. That's another one too. That's
No,
another one.
and that's it. But and that's the thing, because like, oh, here you go, here's your baby, you figure it out. That's not delegation. Like,
Nope.
is that? But there's a whole process to that, because if you look at it, really, you're empowering and you're really going instead of that
Sure.
lecturer or that one, but really being that guide with them. And honestly, that's how education system is even evolving. And that, I mean, I come from education system, going from a lecturer, like, hey, let me tell you how this is, or the knowledge and this knowledge dump, into like, I'm going to be the facilitator of knowledge that we get in. And same thing with leaders and company, facilitate.
100%.